Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sport Federation TV. I'm Lenyukta Chetty and once again I'll be your host. Remember, this show is brought to you by the Western Cape Provincial Sports Confederation, and we talk about all the sports that are available in the Western Cape and in our country at large. Tonight on the show we've got 4 amazing sports joining us. We'll be looking at rugby, powerlifting, cycling and judo. First up, from the world of judo, we have Jacques van Schalkweg and Gert Goos. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Len. It's nice to be with you.
Yes, well, Jacques, you're the Vice President of
That's
Judo
right.
SA, and Gert, you're the Head of Coaching.
Correct.
Big shoes to fill, hey?
Well, we do our best, and we've got big plans for judo in South Africa, and so far those plans are coming off.
All right, how did you end up being an administrator in the sport?
I think I got coaxed into it by the man next to me. I was a competitor in my day, and the love for the sport never dies. And as a master, I started training again with Gert, and somehow he coaxed me into it. And I'm now a very busy man.
Yeah, and it's not common for the more elite athletes to take up administration. What inspired you to do that?
There's a lot to achieve when you finish with your competition in judo. There's still a lot that you can give back to the sport, and there's a certain amount of enjoyment as well. For example, we've got the African closed championships, the 40th African championships in South Africa within 2 weeks. And it's quite a challenge to put something like that together with more than 30 countries attending. It's a big challenge, and we're in the midst of it.
All right. Well, Gert, being an inspiration to the gentleman next to you, I'm sure you've got quite a colorful history in your sport, hey?
Yeah, well, I started my judo in Eastern Province those days, many years ago. Moved to, that stage it was Stellenbosch, which is the Boland. And within judo there, it's quite, let's call it careers. Not payable careers, but careers you can follow in judo. One of them being a referee. Now we got the World Kata, there's Kata judging, there's coaching. And obviously, from my side, I look after the, let's call it the education of coaches. We've been considering different avenues, and fortunately the IGF stepped in last year and they offered us world-class levels, level 1, level 2 for our coaches. We've done a level 1 last year, and this year we did a level 1 and a level 2. And if all goes well, we will have a level 1 practical in the beginning of next year, hopefully in Port Elizabeth.
So a level 1 and level 2 level of coaching, what kind of tournaments does that enable the coach to be a part of?
Well, the level 1 and level 2 allows the coach that holds that certification to be actually a coach at an IJF tournament. They've put up that requirement. For us, a level 1, they teach you how to teach the techniques. And level 2, they actually teach you how to apply the techniques. So if you think of it, they show you how to build the car, and the next step is how to drive the car. And I think that is what we need in our country, are people that can teach the youngsters, first of all, how to do the technique, and then to apply the technique, because we want our children to excel, not just on local events, but to become part of the international scene.
And the coaches are just as important as the administrators, because, well, the organizations cannot flourish without either, hey?
Most important thing for us, firstly, would be coaches. The average judo club consists of about 60 people. And so you can imagine that if there's fewer coaches, there are fewer players. More coaches, much more vibrant community. And the second thing is venues. I mean, it's always a struggle to find the right venue. But this is what coaches do. When you have coaches that are inspired, they'll dig out those venues, they'll find the players, and then the sport grows. So inspiring coaches is critical to the success of our sport.
All right. Now, before we talk about the Africa Championship, how is judo structured from the lowest level right up until the highest level of of competition?
Okay, so we generally compete in novice competitions first of all. So somebody that would start judo tomorrow would only be allowed to compete in a junior, very much a novice competition, and that'll only be after a couple of months of practicing judo. above that, there's a slightly more elite district level of competition, and then that grows on to national. So the judo structure is districts, not provinces, districts based, and after districts we go to national. So there's a lot of nice club competitions where kids with white belts go and they just wrestle about a little bit, and then you have your district competitions, and then the national where the black belts compete and you see really wonderful throws. But this can be quite intimidating. Alone in a judo mat it's a very lonely space.
Yeah.
It's all up to you.
Well, I've had the pleasure of interviewing some of your provincial administrators in the past, and we've even seen footage of the junior events and the senior events. So you're saying that on the national level, it's basically the best performers that are competing there.
Yeah, that's right. Now, so for example, when we look at the African Championships that's coming up, we've got some competitors that are competing there that have won. That have won medals. I almost said they won the competition, but they've won medals at African Championships. So although South Africa as a country doesn't yet rate as one of the top countries in Africa, we are slowly climbing that ladder. And part of our ambition is therefore to bring the competitions to us. Bringing the competitions to us makes the cost for the players to compete much lower. And that cost is one of the biggest hindrances in the international career of our players. So rather than to try to find a little bit of money for them, we try to make a profit out of bringing tournaments to us. And then we expose our players to things like an African Championship. So for example, we'll have, I think it's 5 players that have won medals at championships, African Championships, that will be competing at this championship that we'll be hosting.
Okay, so we've got the national championship, well obviously your district, your lowest level, your districts, the nationals, the African Championship, and then after that?
Well, then comes the real elite. Then you're talking about, at the very top, obviously the Olympic Games, which we'll all be watching next year.
Yes.
Then you have World Championships. World Championships carry massive viewership all over the world. So, some countries have, a country like France, for example, have more than 500,000 registered judo players, which is more than we have rugby players in South Africa. So it is a very big sport in Europe. So World Championships are watched globally on a very large scale. And then you have, just underneath that, you have what we call Grand Prix. And one of our ambitions as Judo South Africa is to host a Grand Prix and to make Cape Town the destination of choice for judo when people think of Africa.
Yeah.
So we're at the southern tip of Africa. Many of the big countries in judo, like Egypt and Morocco, are on the northern side, and they can easily hop over to Europe and expose their players to the kind of skills that are being developed all the time there. For us, it's very, very difficult. It's very expensive for our players to travel all the way to Europe. So we're going to bring them here.
Oh, amazing. And it's not easy, hey, to convince the powers that be to award your country the rights to host a continental or international event.
It's I suppose, very difficult, but we've got a very well-versed president, Timbani Slaso, and he's got a lot of influence all over the world because he's quite a respected administrator, and he's done a great job in securing this for us. And we do believe in our plan. We believe that our players will do lots of international competitions right here in South Africa at a very low cost.
So let's talk the African Championship now, Gert. Give us the details. When is that happening? Where is it happening?
Right, the venue will be University of Cape Town Sports Centre.
Oh, beautiful.
All right, the Hall 1 and Hall 2. Hall 1 will be the competition hall, Hall 2 the warming up area. The dates will be, we start the 22nd with the setup. It starts the Wednesday the 24th with the kata
Of
event.
April.
Of April, yes.
Oh.
Sorry, right. With the kata event. Right, the kata also forms part of the AJU tournament because it's now on the world scene as well, and probably very soon it will be part of the Olympics as well. One thing about the kata is that next year the World Kata forms part of a martial arts festival in Korea, South Korea, and they will select 4 teams from Africa. So hopefully we can get all 4 teams from South Africa. Then on Thursday, Friday and Saturday is the standard contest, the Shiai, and on Sunday the team events, where our young men and young women will put out their wares on the mat.
Wow.
And,
you mentioned earlier 26 countries.
Yeah, I think it will be 26. At the moment, yes, we gather that will be 26. Hopefully, there's some late arrivals. Africa's always a bit slow to arrive.
It's the African way.
The African way.
Well, it's also the fact that players need to be underweight. So they wait until the last moment because there's a lot of guys out there now that are not eating to make weight. And so those might be withheld until the last day when they realize, okay, we are going to make the weight, and then they'll enter. So there's still more to come.
Wow, that heavy, pardon the pun. Okay, so 26 countries, and in Africa, who's the country to beat?
Well, there's a few of them. I think Egypt would be strong this year. Morocco, Algeria. I think in the one weight group of 66, 4 of the world top class players comes from Algeria and Morocco.
Right.
As I said, the Egyptians will be strong. Even in the kata, they put in strong teams. Then one should not discard some of the other countries, like, for example, what is it? The Congo's got some good players. And also, say, Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, our border.
Wow, I think he's almost on 26 countries now.
Yeah.
So everyone is tough competition.
Yeah.
No, our players are up against it, but we've got some good players. On the ladies' side, I think we can talk about Unel Snyman. She has a track record. She's one of the, I think she's rated number 42 in the world right now. If she succeeds in winning a bronze medal, which she has done in the past in the African Championships, she would increase her rating, and she would rate at about 25. If she wins a silver medal, she'd rate in the top 20, and she'd be guaranteed to go to the Olympic Games.
Wow.
So it's a big tournament for Unel. Then there's also Michaela.
Michaela, yeah, the highlighters girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she just finished a honors degree. So she's a student. Both of them are students. She's also ranked fairly high, and we have high hopes that she might even be in the finals.
And from the men's division?
Well, in the men's division, we've got the smaller guys, under 66 kilograms. We have a Commonwealth Games bronze medalist who has also succeeded in winning 2 African Close Championships bronze medals and an African Games bronze medalist. That's Mabula. He is under 66 kilograms. He's rated 79 in the world, and he's got a very good chance also of getting to a bronze medal. And in the same weight category, there's DJ Legrand.
Yeah, he's just been practicing, well, warming up in Japan with the 2 young ladies.
Wow.
So preparing there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's amazing. How many people are in the South African squad for this event?
I think there are about 11. We've got nearly 2 full teams.
Yes.
And in each kata event, we have 1 or 2 teams. But then also, I mean, the men is a local boy also fighting, and the under 60, I think, which is Preston Davids.
Yes.
So hopefully he comes to the party and produce a medal as well.
And I'm sure for these athletes, besides the joy of representing your country at such a prestigious event, it's also getting to meet all the other athletes that they admire from the continent, eh?
Yeah, well, absolutely. People who are in judo always say, if you're in a country where there's judo, you're never alone.
Yes.
You only have to reach out to one of the clubs, and it's very quick. Judo people are very hospitable, and you're immediately welcomed into homes all over the world. Many of our players who have competed overseas still do tours and take their youngsters across, you know, to go and, for example, kids have just come back from Finland, where they've had a tour there to just go and practice a bit of judo, and they were shown around Helsinki and really treated. And there's lots of little communications like that still exist. Judo really is a wonderful community.
Oh, beautiful. How can people watch the championship? Will it be live streamed on Facebook or on TV, or can the public come and watch the event live?
The event is definitely streamed live. Every day of contest will be streamed live from 10 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the evening. Our hope is that ipon.org, which is the official International Judo Federation website, will carry it. So this is like tuning into a television station.
Yes, even more powerful than that.
Much more powerful than television, yes. If not, a search on African Judo Championships will very quickly get you onto the right website, and as well as Facebook, where you can watch this. So you will definitely be able to watch the best judo in Africa.
Excellent. Gert, before you leave us, what kind of support does judo need from the community to realize the dreams that you have for your athletes?
For me, it's difficult for me to say, but what I do find is that within Cape Town, and especially in the areas where it's difficult, people find it difficult to find a decent hall to put down the mat. If one can do that, the unfortunate part of judo is that although you can do it in a tracksuit, you can do it on grass, but it's not that comfortable. You do need a mat. For safety, you need a mat because it consists of throws. The main part is throwing. And if you put somebody down fairly hard, when it falls on the floor, it's sore. You want to put it on the mat, and for children's sake, children like to grapple, and you normally start them on their knees, so they're actually low. But for a young adult to travel, say, 4 or 5 feet through the air, one need a mat. So we need halls, and we need the support of the community. People must realize that judo is the second largest participating sport in the world.
Wow.
Next to soccer.
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, the international federations that take part in judo, it's almost 200 international federations. I think, what is the exact number? It's 100?
It's 204.
204.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
that is very impressive, especially if you're thinking about the other sports that are out there. Well, gentlemen,
may I just say something about just before that? You know the Grand Prix that he spoke about, that what we would like to bring to South Africa, they now have prize money linked to it, €100,000.
Wow.
So that means everybody right up to probably 7 and higher actually get a piece of the pie. So there's a little carrot stuck out there for a youngster that wants to do a sport.
Beautiful. And it will obviously get bigger and bigger as time goes by.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, one of our biggest supporters at the moment is the City of Cape Town. And we really look forward to the partnership.
Wonderful. Well, in order to get that sponsorship from City of Cape Town, your house must be in order.
Absolutely.
Hey, so well done to you both as administrators of the sport, and we wish your squad all the best. May this championship reap 2 athletes that we'll see from South Africa at the Olympic Games next year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. After the break, we'll be back with another amazing sport, so please stay tuned for that.